SBC Media.
Welcome to iGaming Daily, analysing the news from the betting and gaming industry all over the globe. Supported by SBC Summit Latinoamérica, bringing together the leadership teams and product specialists from retail and online operators in Latin American markets.
Discover the potential of Latin America's booming iGaming and sports betting markets at SBC Summit Latinoamérica, the premier industry event in the region. Join SBC at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Miami from October 31st to November the 2nd. Register now at sbcevents.com.
Welcome to iGaming Daily, live from SBC Summit Barcelona. We have a really interesting edition of the podcast today, as I'm joined by Brian Christner, who is the Chief Online Gaming and CMO for the Grand Casino Baden Group, who brings a unique perspective on European markets and innovation in different regulatory climates. Firstly, Brian, how are you enjoying Barcelona? What have you been up to? And also, what have been your main takeaways so far from the conference?
Thank you very much, Jessie, for having me on the podcast.
No problem.
Barcelona is absolutely amazing. SBC is well organized. It's a great conference, and I really like the fact there's community happening around the conference. There's all sorts of breakout areas and really interesting things you can see in the conference. As far as the conference itself, I find there's an amazing amount of stands. There's some great information you can get from people, and just the networking possibilities here has just been incredible.
Wonderful. So, firstly, can you just give us a breakdown of Grand Casino Baden's operations and your place in the Swiss gaming market?
Sure thing. So the Grand Casino Baden group is quite unique, or the Swiss market is quite unique, where in Switzerland, in order to have an online casino license, you have to have a land-based license. So the online casino is always tied to a land-based entity. So we have actually one land-based casino and an online casino in Baden, as well as we just recently acquired a new casino in the Italian part of Switzerland, Ticino, Locarno, and that's also our ambitions for 2025 to open a new online casino in the Italian part of Switzerland. We are a growing company. We're also part of our group is Gamonza Group. They build the platforms, games, etc. for our online entity, jackpots.ch. So we are ambitious to continue growing into the international markets. We would like to continue working into Germany, and we're looking internationally as well.
So obviously you've mentioned Germany, but we're going to talk about, in your view, what is the current state of the Swiss gaming sector, and then how does this compare to other European markets such as Germany?
So the Swiss market is relatively new compared to other markets. It started in 2019. We were the first casino in the Switzerland to actually go live with our online casino in a regulated market, so it was quite exciting for us. It is one of the most regulated markets in Europe, so it is quite challenging in one aspect, but it's very focused on player protection. It is one of the main objectives of our regulator to actually make sure player protection is the forefront of what we're trying to achieve online as well as offline. The Swiss market generally, like I said, it's very the license is tied to the land-based entity, so there's a fixed number of casinos allowed in Switzerland. Now we are going through a new concession phase, so they're reissuing licenses. We've applied for this process because the process is a 20-year process, so the license is good for 20 years. So we will find out at the end of this year about our license status for 2025. So we're really excited for this because we have ambitious goals for our casino.
Fantastic. So obviously, like you said, you were the first Swiss gaming group to launch an online offering. What challenges did this bring, and how have you innovated in a nascent market?
Yeah, so we launched our casino in 2019. We were the first ones actually into the online space in Switzerland. It gave us a first mover advantage because obviously when you're the only casino in the market, it's quite unique, quite helpful. But obviously it came with a lot of challenges because we had our own platform, which we built ourselves. We were going through the learning phases of how do we properly build it, incorporate all the regulatory possibilities into the platform. So it was a lot of challenges that we encountered. And of course, when we first launched the website, everything was on one page and it just scrolled on forever as we kept getting more and more games. So we had to adapt our website over time and continue learning as we went forward. Additionally, our gaming board was also learning through this whole process. As they were new to online gaming, they also had to adapt their policies and procedures and really understand how to audit online space as well as assist us in player protections.
So, from Grand Casino Baden's experience of the German market, what impact has the re-regulation in 2021 had on the sector?
Yeah, so, I mean, the market's starting again fresh. They're going through a really new phase of regulating this new German market. They're also going through a complete learning phase, and it's very challenging. Obviously, there's some very difficult new regulations in place that makes it challenging for operators as well as providers. But we still see potential in the market to make a success in this market.
I see. So does the German iGamer market still pose an opportunity for international operators in the face of, obviously, the hurdles of recent years?
I find so, yes. I mean, the German market is still quite interesting for providers as well as operators. It's something that's going to evolve over time. I really believe it's going to take a few years for the German market to actually evolve also with the regulations as they learn about new regulated market. So it will be a 2-3 year process before it really comes into a proper market.
So Grand Casino Baden's operation, of course, expand beyond Switzerland and Germany. Why choose Slovenia and Costa Rica as development locations for new offices?
What's quite unique is when we acquired Gamanza Group, they actually had an office in Slovenia, Malta, and Costa Rica. Which is interesting about Costa Rica, many people don't know, is it was one of the first iGaming hubs in the world. It actually iGaming started in the early 2000s in Costa Rica first. And that was quite, so there's a lot of knowledge in Costa Rica. There's also the benefits that we have the follow the sun approach with support. So we have Europe, then we follow into Costa Rica. So we have around the clock coverage of support for our customers. It is quite unique because we have a lot of large U.S. companies in Costa Rica that are bringing lots more knowledge into this region. And I really believe it just helps us have a global view on building an iGaming platform.
So lastly, what innovations do you believe will be integral to engaging casino players in the coming year?
I really believe compliance needs to be an enabler going forward, and we need more tools to help us do this through AI and really player protection with AI. I really believe is going to be the newest innovation in iGaming. Really, how do we protect players before they even know they need protection? And I believe this will be one of the new innovations coming up. As well as, gaming innovations, we're going to see what's the next crash game. Right now, there's crash games on almost every stand, but I believe in maybe 1 or 2 years, there's going to be a new revolution of games coming out that will shock us all. It's not here yet, but I'm waiting for this latest innovation.
So obviously we're moving to Lisbon for the summit next year. What are your thoughts on that? Obviously you mentioned earlier it's one of your favourite places, is that right?
It's absolutely one of my favorite places. I actually worked in all the casinos there in my previous years. I used to actually install casino systems in Portugal, so I visited all the casinos in Portugal. Absolutely beautiful country, and Lisbon is just absolutely gorgeous. So I'm really looking forward to the Lisbon Summit already.
Perfect. That's excellent. That's everything. Thank you so much for your time, Brian. That was really insightful.
Thank you very much, Jessie.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of iGaming Daily, brought to you in conjunction with SBC Summit Latinoamérica, being held at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Miami on the 31st of October to the 2nd of November. If you want to find out more about some of the subjects raised today, feel free to explore any of the sites in the SBC News Network. Happy reading.